Music lovers and music haters, let's all gather here. This is Call You Back When I Make It, according to Loux. Oh brother, oh brother. Every now and then, an impressive lyricist just spawns out of nowhere. Someone who's good lyrically and also musically inclined. For a while now, in SA hip-hop, you had to choose one or the other, right? You're getting a lot of these kids that are good musically. Osman Mane, your Blackies, and all of them, but they can't write a bar to save their lives. Luckily, we have someone new, not really new, but he's young. He's been active for a couple of years. And with him, we don't have to compromise on that. We're getting quality from both sides. And that is my man's Kane Keid. Love you. Just wanted to get that out the way. I'm a big fan. Whether or not I like this album is a different question altogether, but we'll get to it. So, there's this notion that you can't make vibey songs if you're just rapping hard, right? You're either going all vibe or you're going all hardcore. Rappers like Nasty C and Kane Keid as well have rubbished that claim. You know, I think people use that as a cop-out. If your favorite dude is shit, your favorite dude is shit. Stop hiding behind nonsense. And this kid right here, he's a perfect example of not compromising on the lyrical quality just for the vibes. The album opens up with Evening in Cali. This is a pure joint speaking about his life, his partners, broken relationships, everything that he raps about on this album. He sets the tone on the intro. You can basically guess from this intro where we're going with the album. It's very smooth, drumless instrumental with a nice vocal sample, and I feel like on the album, production-wise, he does that a lot. You know, he's not going out of his box, right? And I feel like it's kind of crazy considering this is his second full-length project. For him to do that, you know, in terms of his production and not to reach out, him playing it safe, it kind of feels like he's hitting his ceiling pretty early. Not a bad thing in terms of this album per se, but it's quite concerning. It does worry me a bit, considering how it sounds just like his previous project. Good nonetheless. The second joint on the album is titled Wake Up. This joint for me is too short. I needed this to be longer. It's a perfect record, and I don't say that quite often, and I don't say it easily. It's a song about how grateful he is for his success, the personal changes that come with it. You know, it's just a mellow trap record with lo-fi elements. The strings, the bass, the melody, very faint. Basically, it just allows him to ride with it. Allows him to express himself, which he does very well. His vocabulary is very insane, and I'm very impressed by it because we have a lot of rappers with very shit vocabulary. And his is very broad. It's a very intelligent rapper, and I think these type of beats, this song in particular, is perfect for that, and he absolutely kills it, smashes it. And I really wish, like I said, it was a bit longer. I like the length, you know, it's nice, but by the time you're still vibing to it, boom, the song is done. And I don't know, man. You broke my heart with this one. You know, but you know, shout outs to you. The next joint on here is called Luxury Pain. This one features Issa and La Cabra. It's another one of those emo records where it talks about pain and pleasure, the pleasure of achieving everything he set out to do, and the pain of everything he loses on that journey, and the pressures of being successful, the pressures of being a celebrity, especially a young one in the game where, you know, a lot of people are gunning for him for some reason, right? You have a lot of people that are talking about him not being good, which is weird to me because he's really one of the best out there. Definitely one of the best amongst his peers. So he really raps about that. La Cabra and Issa, I don't know what they were doing on the song. You know, I would have preferred this to be a solo record, to be honest. I'm not saying their verses were bad or anything like that, but I feel like he would have handled this on his own. What I don't like about this song, apart from the guest features, the production. It's very lazy. It's pretty sloppy. Like, if you told me that this beat was made in 5 minutes, I would believe you, because it certainly sounds like it. Absolute miss for me. I could do without this record. But yeah, I don't know. I'm not gonna dog him too much for this one, but I think had he picked a better beat, maybe he would have something better to say about this song. The next joint is called Red Lips. This is one of the more glossier productions on the album. Very melodious, simple, very spacious as well. It's also a bit punchy. It has a bob to it. It's a very, very enjoyable song about him putting his girl through a mattress. It's not about that per se, but you get the point. It's a song about making love. It's a song about spending time with his girl. Just really being a lover boy for whatever reason. I like it. I'm a big fan of rappers doing love songs. I mean, when it comes to hip hop, we make the best love songs. R&B niggas could get out of here, but we make the best love songs, and I love that he steps into that bag, and he does so quite often on this album. There's a lot of records on here about love and his relationships, yearning for past love and all of that. This song again features La Cabra, who I don't know. Why are you on this song? Like literally, we could just remove that verse and we would have lost nothing. I think the feature, it does nothing for the song. It doesn't enhance it in any way, shape or form. But yeah, I don't know if it was just doing a favor for a friend, but this is a favor that has really cost the quality of the record. We honestly could have done without it, but yeah, it is what it is. Get Over It is an Afro house record. And look, I feel like this is his response to all the people that said he raps too much to make good music.
I like Kane Keid, but he rap too much.
Although my issue with this though is that he went from 0 to 100 a little too quick for my liking, right? You have this, you just went from Red Lips, love song again, very moody, very ambient, and then you quickly jump to an Afro house beat. It doesn't make sense to me. Thematically, they are the same because again, he's rapping about love on this one as well. But sonically, I think it's too big a jump, too quickly as well. Because then after this, we get Back to You. Back to You, we've gone from 100 down to 0, which is what I've been saying all along about sequencing. We are not sequencing these albums correctly. And this is a huge misstep for me, as far as I'm concerned. He didn't build up to Get Over It, right? And then he didn't allow things to mellow down again before we get to Back to You. So we just went, which I don't get. And don't get me wrong, Get Over It, banger, love the song. But I don't think it's perfect for this album. It sticks out like a sore thumb between moody records like Back to You, again, a love song. He steps into his melodic rapping, You're doing that after doing Afro house beats. I don't get it. I don't get why I did that. Really one of the biggest missteps on this project as far as I'm concerned. Thematically, Get Over It is similar to all the songs around it. Similar to Back to You. It's similar to the Horrid the Messiah assisted Want You Around. But of this trio of songs, it's the one that really sticks out the most, right? Because you're doing lo-fi, you're keeping it smooth, you're keeping it soft, and then you go up. It just doesn't work for me. And I think, once you listen to these 3 songs or these 4 songs, if you take it from Red Lips, you get where I'm coming from when it comes to the sequencing. And also the repetitiveness as well, right? Because I speak about that a lot. I think as a rapper, you need to be able to touch on an array of subjects. And, if you're giving me 4 love songs, back to back, it gets a little too much. They're not bad songs by any stretch, but it gets a little bit too much, my boy. Let It Work sees Kane return to his melodic rapping once again on a minimalistic beat, very spacey. The ambient feel of the record matches his laid-back delivery as he reflects on his journey in the industry once again, his relationships once again. It's a dope song. I don't mind it. I think he's quite good at this. Come to think of it, he reminds me of Nasty C. In terms of being able to rap, sing. He does it very well. I wouldn't put him in the same category as your Black Keys, right? Because with them the punches aren't there. The bars aren't there. And then with him and Nasty, they're able to do that. Do the rap singing, the melodic rapping, and still deliver from a lyrical point of view. Big, featuring Fix and Big Hash, gives us the best rapping on this album. hands down. It might be recency bias, I don't know, but I think this is the best verse I've ever heard from Kane Keid. Definitely verse of the year contender, without a doubt. I think hands down in SA hip hop, best verse this year. I don't know who's gonna come up next. I don't know. But for now, as things stand, this is the best verse this year. Until the next Ntombela verse, which is probably gonna be verse of the year anyway. Shout outs to you. But yeah, look, he goes off. That second verse, his second verse is incredible. Big Hash does his thing as well, but Kane Keid's ability to mix his introspectiveness, his ability to reflect with witty punches, still being hard, still being sharp, still being direct, puts him head and shoulders above his peers on this record. And not just on this record, but period. You know, there's a lot of dudes that he's come up with. You know, you can see he's quite close with the Quellas. Is it Quellas? Quellas? Doesn't matter. Either or. The point is, they're just not on his level for this very reason. Note to self ties everything up nicely. Genuinely feel like this should have been the outro. I think it's perfect in terms of how he wraps up everything. Everything he's been rapping about the entire album, like I was saying, you know, he's been rapping about these broken relationships and I think on this particular song, it's the perfect anchor, right? It's the perfect anchor. You wrapping up your story. It kind of sounds like he's, you know, starting a new chapter. He's done with whatever he was doing. Perfect way to close the album. But for whatever reason, he decided that we needed another joint on here, which is the bonus track called Living Right. Again, La Cabra is on this, and I don't want it to sound like I'm picking on La Cabra, but Jesus, man. Jesus. I think, you know, when throughout the album, Kane Keid's feature selection is a bit questionable, especially with this cat. There's other joints on here that, you know, probably could have used a feature, could have used a better feature, but you know, I feel like he could have done most of this album by himself, and this song in particular he could have done by himself as well. I don't think there was any need for anyone else to jump on it. I mean, I get that it's a bonus song, you know, again, dudes reflecting, dudes rapping about their past, dudes rapping about their success, dudes rapping about their ambition, but already we got note to self. You know, if you have a song like that where you're basically speaking to yourself, about where you are and where you're trying to go, I don't think there's any need for another joint. You know, but I mean, it's a bonus song, so it could literally be anything. But yeah, I'm not a big fan of it. Basically, merely for its existence, I think you just take away from what was a perfect closer of your project. Lyrically, I'm not mad at the album. He raps really well and he writes really well. You know, you can't take that away from him at all. Production-wise, nothing too crazy on this album. Nothing that stands out. There's no big sonic moments. You know, apart from Get Over It, that's probably the only one whereby he took things to another level or did something different from what he's been doing all along. But for the most part, it's just soft beats, 808s that you wouldn't even notice half the time. Everything is smooth, everything is laid back, everything is ambient. I'm not too crazy about the production. You know, I'm not gonna jump up and shout about it, but I feel like considering the content and what he was trying to communicate, it matches everything perfectly. Despite the lack of moments on the project, he did what he set out to do, which is introduce himself again to the people who don't know him, or the people that are familiar but not too familiar. He showed up to tell his story. He showed up to express how he feels about the industry and his position in the industry. Hopefully he takes the jump next album, and he gives us some more stories about his life. Hopefully none that have anything to do with his love life, because you have 11 songs on this album and like 5-6 of them about your relationships. That's a bit much for me. But apart from that, there's not a lot that I can say that's negative about the project. So if I were to rate it, I'll probably give it a 7.5 if I'm stretching it for real. But I think a 7 is decent enough. But you let me know if you agree, if you disagree. What's up? This has been According to Loux. See you on the flip side.